Alex, thinking about it, I wonder whether the fact that John Kerry, has been given a place in the National Security Council doesn't mean that his seat is that the vice presidency has been prepared for him.
I don't know. Something's up.
Absolutely. Something is definitely up. Notice that he is the climate czar.
Yeah, something is up. Yeah. They're definitely on their way to get rid of Biden.
Oh, absolutely. I'm absolutely.
I just wonder if they've rushed it. I wonder if they would have waited maybe another month. It would have probably been better, but I don't know.
Something has happened which has thrown this thing off course, actually. I'm wondering whether we're not going to get more and more revelations, and we're going to ask there's going to be an attempt to get Biden to step aside before the inauguration. I mean, that's the timing of this makes me think that might be so, because I would have thought a more sensible thing to do would have been to wait until after the inauguration before publicizing these things.
Yeah, I wonder if the fact that Trump fought this so hard is throwing the timeline a little off, and they feel, we better rush this. Move this up a little bit. I don't know.
This is exactly what I'm thinking. I think this is exactly what I'm thinking, that somehow the fact that Trump is fighting in this way has destabilized what was intended to be a more measured process. Bring Biden in, give him a year, remove him, bring in Kamala, bring in a vice president that you want, get all kinds of things done up and down the United States. Another possibility, think about this. Go for a Republican vice president, a Romney type figure.
I think Kerry makes more sense. And I can see Hillary Clinton, but I think Hillary Clinton's gone mad. So I'm trying to see if they even want her anymore. I really think she's lost her senses.
I was being a bit.
But I think a Kerry actually makes sense because he is the climate czar, and they've been trying to push the climate change agenda on the world, and I mean the economic agenda. I'm not talking about whether you believe in actual climate change. I'm saying the economic agenda tied into climate change. They've been trying to push that for 2 decades now, and it just hasn't stuck. But now with the lockdowns, it seems like they found a way to get that climate change agenda in, but under the guise of global lockdowns. Yes. And that's where I see Kerry coming in, because he is, like you said, he's that climate czar.
Yes. But there's also something very interesting about his appointment. We might do it a little bit further in a video about this a little bit further on. But the other very interesting thing about his appointment is he's a climate czar who is sitting on the US National Security Council. So he has access to all classified material. He gets all the sort of intelligence briefs. That is very strange. Why would you have a climate czar with that kind of role? If you think about it. So that suggests to me that he is being groomed for something bigger. He's obviously got the climate czar portfolio, which he's going to develop and build on. But at the same time, he's also been given a position right at the heart of the US security state. Just say.
No, he might be brought in to midwife the the reset.
Exactly.
Maybe his purpose.
Midwife the reset, and also pull be the person there, keeping a closer watch on what Kamala is doing.
Yeah, I think Kamala's a non-entity.
She's a non-entity, and she's also, by the way, bear in mind, extremely inexperienced.
Yeah.
So she's not really exactly. So he would be a very, very powerful vice president if he was brought in. And I think, we need to keep an eye on this, because I really do wonder whether that hasn't been the agenda all along.
Look, I can definitely see the Davos crowd sitting there and saying, you know what, we need to get an empty suit like Kamala, and she ticks the boxes, which is what they can pass off to the American public, the 50% of the American public that's all they care about is if someone ticks off the boxes. They don't care if they have more money in their pocket. They don't care if they're happy, sad, nothing. They just want someone who can tick off the boxes. Great. So she pleases them. She ticks off the boxes. So they're happy. And then the Davos crowd says, okay, she ticks off the boxes, but she's a completely empty suit. And we need someone to midwife our World Economic Forum agenda, which we've been trying for 2 decades now with climate change to get through, and we haven't been able to do it. But let's get John Kerry here, who will be a good person to steer this ship towards the 4th Industrial Revolution, or whatever they want to call it. He'll be the right person to steward this thing for us.
Absolutely.